Now, a lot of you that know me know that one of my fortes is ranting and raving and complaining about shit that is pissing me off. So I figured I'd throw together a quick little gym rant to blow off some steam before I have a full-fledged psychological meltdown. So the first group of degenerates that should be staked to an anthill and beaten in the genitals with a meat tenderizer until they can no longer reproduce are these guys that go to the gym and all they do is jump on the fucking box. And I don't mean guys that incorporate 5 minutes of box jumps into their workout. I'm talking about guys that this is all they do for an hour. What are you, a fucking kangaroo? How can standing in the middle of the gym for an hour and jumping on a 12-inch tall box possibly benefit you? It's usually some dorky fucking white guy that thinks it's going to help him dunk the basketball someday. You're sub 6 foot tall, you're white, you will never, and I mean ever, be able to dunk the basketball. If this is all you're going to do, build a fucking box at home and do it there. It'd be less embarrassing for you, and nobody else would have to see the shit. Now women do the same shit, except they do it in groups, and instead of jumping on a box, they group up somewhere in the way and stretch. Hours of stretching and putting those goofy-ass elastic bands around their knees and spreading their legs open. I say if you'd spread your legs open more at home and let your husband fuck you once in a while, you wouldn't have to do this shit in public. And he might stop sleeping with the hot red-headed neighbor down the street. I don't know, just a thought. Another thing that I need to bring to your attention, ladies, while those yoga pants or Spanx or whatever the hell you're calling them these days look good on many of you, there are some requirements and rules that must be put into effect. First off, and this one is probably most important, there must be a weight limit on these things. And the maximum size they should make these fuckers is large. There's a maximum capacity weight limit that I think these things can hold, and I believe it to be no more than 150 pounds maximum capacity. Now, for obvious reasons, if you're 4 foot tall, the weight limit must be less for you. Because if you're 150 pounds and 4 foot tall, you're as wide as you are tall. So naturally, the weight limit must be much less for you. These maximum capacity numbers are essential to the safety of everyone. When you exceed these numbers, each and every time you bend over while wearing these things, you chance exploding your fat ass through the material and injuring several bystanders. And from an aesthetics point of view, what happens if you do not adhere to these guidelines is that every time someone catches a rear view glimpse, what they see looks as if you have eaten corn for 16 consecutive days and then took a big diarrhea shit directly into your pants. It's very distasteful and unpleasant. Next, under no circumstances is panties of any kind acceptable underneath. They are tights. Most of you probably don't have balls, so your stuff is not going anywhere. On top of that, you are wearing them to show off your sexuality and make men look. Own that horse slut look you are trying to pull off anyway and go commando. If you have a gigantic camel toe, then sport it, or super glue it together. In any case, just don't wear fucking panties. You look fucking weird. Third, despite what you might think or vision in your head, workout Spanx are not traditional daily attire. You look good in them while you are at the gym, but if you wear them to Applebee's on a date, you are just a dumb cunt who has just had her first and last date with that guy. Millennials, you need to pay close attention to this one. I see far too many of you doing this shit with the yoga pants. The 6-inch band they put on top of the yoga pants is intended to be flipped down. This is not a onesie that you pull up over your tits. A lot of you have not figured this out yet, but I am here to tell you it is not okay. You do not look good. You need to not do this. There is no reason your tits should ever be inside your pants. In fact, there is no reason whatsoever your tits should ever come in contact with your pants unless you have massive tits and you are in a deeply bent over position. I know a lot of you do this shit to hide the fat rolls. Believe me when I say it doesn't work. We can still see the fat rolls. Let them hang out and let them be motivation to get rid of them. Finally, men, the Spanx went out in the 90s with Ronnie Coleman and Jay Cutler. Under no circumstance is it acceptable anymore for you to wear these things unless you are an Olympic bobsledder. And even then I have my doubts. So please, for the love of God, wear your Spanx with the utmost safety, care, and concern for your fellow bystanders as to avoid any major mishaps. And you guys are back on the hook again. You guys need to stop with these fucking t-shirts that have sayings like weights before dates, or beast mode, or shut up and lift, or some other moronic slogan that only weenies wear. You know, like the guy who only does box jumps at the gym. And, for the love of God, somebody tell me why it is that every ab exercise makes the person doing the exercise look as if they're performing oral sex to the air. Now, I don't know about you guys, but eating pussy is one of my most favorite things to do. And I'm almost certain if you put a nice, clean, freshly shaved puss directly below me when I'm doing these ab exercises, I could get a few more reps in. You know, 1, blah, 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 blah. 2, blah, 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 blah. 3, blah, 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 blah. Oh, the magical powers of pussy.